Well, good day to all of our awesome internet friends and family. Lamont Silver Sr. here. Very important training message. So I want to make sure that you take the time to watch this entire message. I will say this, that while I'm doing this video, I'm also doing some active trading in the stock market. So you may hear some chimes where I'm getting some stock market alerts or what have you. Okay, in this particular training, I want to talk about how your path towards 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month or even 50,000 a month begins with what you do today. Now we shared this with our audience in some previous videos, but I want to go and be more specific with how I do things on a daily basis, okay? And hopefully you find value and you'll start to implement some of these strategies on a daily basis. Let me start off with a couple things from mentors as they've taught me. Jim Rohn, one of my biggest personal development mentors, one of the things he talks about is, you know, if you want to have your dream life, it really starts with what you do today. And another one of my great mentors, Dr. Mike Murdoch, his definition of success is the attainment of any worthwhile goal. So success isn't necessarily just having a bunch of money or a lot of cash flow or a huge team. It's the attainment of a worthwhile goal. So with that being said, let's get on our path to whatever your dream income is. Your 10 grand a month, your 20 grand a month, your 50 grand a month, your 100 grand a month. But understand it starts with today. All right, so here are some strategies that you can employ in your business to make sure that you're having a successful and a productive day. Number one, end your day. I'm talking about your business day. End your business day before you begin it. End your business day before you begin it. Now, what do I mean by that? Stephen R. Covey would say, start with the end in mind. The great writer of scriptural texts would say, call the end from the beginning. So this is what I do. Before I start my business day, I actually have ended it because I write down what I want to accomplish that day. I start with what do I want to accomplish this day. For instance, I know that in many cases my day is going to include me doing a video post that I'm going to send out to my audience. But I don't just keep that up here, I write that down. I know that a part of my business day is going to be communicating with teammates and prospects. I tend to use Skype or email. I'm not much of a Facebook person, but if you're a Facebook person, then just incorporate that, okay? So what I do is before I start my day, I write the tasks that I'm going to work on for that particular day. So you can see here, for instance, I've got the date, all right? And I'm not a big techie. You know, of course, you can do this with your iPad or any of those types of things. But I write my date, and I've got, okay, my email post, all right? That's what I'm working on right now. I've got working on me, okay? I've got Skype communication. I've got email communication. I've got working on a new project that we're doing a beta test and spending some time going through that system. Obviously, my listing business, where I'm listing products on eBay to build my own e-commerce business. Okay, so now what I do is I plan out my business day by writing out the tasks that I want to accomplish that day. Remember, Dr. Mike Murdoch says this. He says that success is the attainment of any worthwhile goal. All right, so that's number one. Number two, I then prioritize those tasks. So I write out the tasks. I'm going to do a video post. all right, to send out to my email and my text list. I'm going to spend some time in Skype. I'm going to spend some time in email communication back to teammates and or prospects, so on and so forth. Okay, so now I prioritize that list. What's most important? What do I need to work on first? Once I finish that, what do I need to do number two, the second? What do I need to do what's number third in line? Okay, so I've determined what I'm going to do that day. I then prioritize which of these things I need to do first and second and third and fourth. And here's a key. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. I'm sure somebody has, and I just haven't heard them yet, okay? The key, here's a key, is to put time constraints on each of your tasks. So for instance, I know that from the time I start cutting a video to the time I render it and load it up and put it on YouTube and send it out with the written text in an email or on with a text or what have you, that tends to be about an hour. All right, so I'm going to put with my tasks, put my priorities. Then with each of my tasks, I'm going to assign a time constraint. I'm spending an hour on this. I'm spending 15 minutes on that. I'm spending 2 hours on the other, so on and so forth. So now what happens, like you'll even see, give me a moment. My pen went somewhere. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, well, okay, my pen went somewhere. But what you'll see, for instance, okay, what you'll see is I've allotted an hour. See if you can see that, okay? Yeah, an hour for my email post. And then I've allotted 30 minutes for the day to work on me. I've allotted an hour for going into Skype. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Because if you are not careful, your day will just get away. Minutes will get away, minutes lead to hours, hours lead to days, days lead to weeks, weeks lead to months, months lead to years, and all of a sudden you've been in the industry 10 years and unfortunately you haven't really accomplished what you have been looking to accomplish. So the path to 10 grand a month or 50 grand a month or whatever it is you're looking to attain in terms of your monthly income or weekly or daily income, it starts with what you do today. Developing success habits and sticking to those success habits. All right, so what have we done so far? We started our day with the end in mind. I complete my day before I start it. Number one, I write down my tasks. That's number one. I'm writing down my tasks, completing my day before I start it. Then I'm going to prioritize those tasks. Am I working on my post first? Am I going into Skype first? Am I going into my emails first, so on and so forth? So what's number one, what's number two, what's number three? Then I'm going to assign with each task a time constraint. I'm spending 1 hour today in Skype. Why? Because if I don't manage my time, it will get away. And so I go in Skype, I respond to as many people as I can in that 1 hour, but I've got an hour. So when I start my task, let's say with my email post, I make a note of when I started that particular task. So I've got an hour for my email, my video post, in my example. I write down the time that I start so that I'm able to go back and see, okay, I've got another 23 minutes. Oh, okay, I gotta hurry this thing up. I've got only 7 minutes, all right? Then I go to my next task. I make a note of what time I'm starting the next task, and then I know if I've allotted 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 23 minutes or what have you, I know when I started, when I should finish that task. And let's say with Skype, if it's an hour, well, if I don't get to all the Skypes, I was successful because my goal was to spend an hour of productive time in Skype, and I hit my goal. My goal was to spend a certain amount of time going through, let's say, a new platform. If you're joining a new enterprise and you're getting familiar with that platform, and I hit my goal. So that at the end of my business day, I have completed my assignments. I have made sure that I was within my time constraints. And oh, here's the other thing. When I'm doing an assignment, then I am solely focused on that assignment. So, for instance, if I got a text message while I'm in Skype, the text message is going to wait because I'm spending that time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever I have decided I need to spend that day based on my goals for that day. I need to be focused on what I'm doing in Skype. I need to be focused on doing my posts. I need to be focused on this project or that project or what have you. The phone rings, I let it go to voicemail, okay? So what you may want to do is allot time in your day for follow-up communications. This is when maybe you're checking your voice messages and responding back to those voice messages that you need to respond back to. So these are the types of things that I'm doing so that my day doesn't get away. So now let's go back with what Dr. Mike Murdock said. He said that success is the attainment of any worthwhile goal. He said what you want to do is you want to write down, it was either here or Jim Rohn, or maybe it was a combination of the two. Write down those things, or everything that I just shared with you. Then at the end of your day, what happens is you have this feeling of, I was productive. I was successful today. You repeat that tomorrow and you're successful that day. You repeat that the next day, you're successful that day. And all of a sudden, you start putting a string of successful days together. And then it starts to form a habit. And then all of a sudden, you start to put a string of successful weeks together. Then successful months together, which then leads to successful years. Okay? So, I want you to start doing that. Review. End your business day before you begin it. Before you start your business day, preferably even the night before, okay? Before you start your business day, go on and write out the tasks that you're going to work on to help build your business. Prioritize those tasks. Assign time constraint for that day on working on that task. When you start a task, make a note of the time where you started, the time when you ended, so you can make sure that you're not losing time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So time is our biggest asset. Time is our biggest asset. For too many of us, we've wasted a lot of time. We can't afford to waste any more. Okay? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, start applying that into your business. I believe at the end of the business day, you're going to feel, wow, I accomplished something. Well, yeah, I accomplished my hour in Skype. I accomplished getting my video posts. I accomplished spending the time with my, going through the website of a new venture that I'm looking at and doing a beta test on. I accomplished my time of personal development and what have you. I had a successful day. And then I come back and I do it the next day. And I come back and I do it again the next day. My tasks may change the next day, or the time constraints that I have for a specific task may be different the next day, but I end the next day successful. Then I have a successful week, then a successful month, and then we have a successful year, and then we have successful years, and then we have a successful life. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours.